right, so it seems like this year, so we set out with an idea last year to do something on this range to memorialize our good friend Claire, aka Tuscarora Slim. I can tell you from the Ickesburg Sportsman's Association, the plan in terms of figuring out everything that Claire was doing for the clubs quickly got named the what do we do now plan. Because the more we talked, the more we realized that we probably didn't recognize all the things that he was doing in the background and how instrumental for both the regulators and for Ickesburg he was in making this whole thing what it is now. So we had been already kind of hashing around the idea that, you know, when it's raining up here, we like to shoot a couple stages out of the hotel, but it kind of gets kind of boring being in the same place. Let's build a building on Bay 8, because there really wasn't anything here that we could get out of the rain and get a lot of folks out of the rain. And so that's where this idea for the building that most of us are standing in came from. And I don't know why his sense of humor has done this. Since we started this project, it has rained at every shoot. So I don't want to say it was a bad idea, but somebody seems to be having just a little bit too much fun with us. And yet again, we hear the raindrops on the roof today. So I wanted to say thank you for everyone who helped out, and really everybody that is here and supports this club in some way or another helped out with this. We definitely had a few folks that were instrumental in getting this done. I'm not going to call everybody out, but I wanted to call out Buckle Bob. Pretty much every piece of rough cut lumber that you see in this building came from trees on his property that he harvested and had sawn, and he pre-cut a lot of this stuff and brought it up here so that we could be more efficient with the folks that were up working. We always had at least 5 or 6 people that came up every time. We had folks that donated money instead of time because they couldn't be here. We had a couple folks like Sam and Derek and Ranch hand Rick, who couldn't be here today because his wife told me he was going to a wedding instead. Were brave enough to get up on the roof with me, so that's very much appreciated. And the Ickesburg Sportsman's Association donated $1,000 towards our expenses as kind of their contribution into this memorial from their members as well. So wanted to thank them. And I think it's all fitting. You know, I think we all have some stories about Claire, and I'm going to ask if anybody has anything they really want to share. I'll start that by just saying that he probably lost me the most amount of money that anybody has in my life, because he decided that we had to drag Jill up here after a pistol class and start shooting. And I remember telling her when she left the house, she didn't like this, we'll talk about it. Well, you have fun shooting today. And she said, I'm just going to watch. And I'm like, I'm thinking in the back of my head, there's no way that those guys aren't going to put guns in her hands. And she's going to be shooting. And 2 weeks later, I bought my first pair of Rugers, and now I hate to admit how many I'm up to. And that was just getting her started, and then getting us started. But where he really focused his attention was when the kids showed up. And there was never a time that when the kids were here, do you need, I have 22, I have this rifle shorter, I have this little shotgun, I have this, I have that. And it really, for us, it really culminated. I didn't know this, but a lot of years ago, Jill's great-grandmother, there was an auction, there was a rifle sold. Nobody in our family at that point was into cowboy shooting. And Claire ended up buying it. And all these years later, he knew where that rifle came from. He saw Will up here shooting. Of course, we can't shoot straight wall cartridges easy to load, so 3840 it was. And he brought that rifle up, and Will shot it, and the smile on his face, I thought, oh my gosh, that is an original from like 1903. 01. Okay, thank you. And I know how this may end, and that's going to to be as painful as a pair of riggers. And being the cowboy that he was, Claire said, well, I tell you what, this is what I paid for that rifle when I bought it. You give me that, you take it home. In fact, he said, you take it home, you bring me the money next time you see me. That rifle needs to be back in the family. And that was just the kind of guy he was. And that's what cowboys are, and that's why we've got some folks here shooting today that are new. And it's like, hey, we got guns, we'll get you hooked up and get you started. Anyway, I'm long-winded, and there's my story.
That was a good one.
So this is going to mark the completion because, quite frankly, the range crew has been very busy on this range for the last year and a half, as evidenced by the building, by the lights, by everything that's going on, and we are taking some time off now after all of this. So again, just thank you to everybody. Lee Tort?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I met Claire in 98 or 99. Dutch was his memory. You guys don't know Dutch, but he passed away. We come down to the clubhouse and set up a display like we do at the other matches, you know, just for information. And he come up to the table and he said, this is great. So that's what started all over 25 years ago. And we were friends ever since that point in time. And we started the club.
Yep. Yeah, Claire was a founding member, we would call it here.
Yep.
Anyone else have anything they want to share?
Well, just in general, in case you don't know, I write the stages now, so you need a little bit longer or shorter rope, depending on when the Tort was writing them.
Yeah.
But I mentioned 2 cards that have passed on each stage, and the line and the stage, you know, what's there at the stage description is just one of my memories of them. So if you're like, well, where did that come from? That's where that comes from.
All right. And I don't know that Barb was specific, but I heard that all complaints go to chicken. All right. Well, so this is officially now going to become the Tuscarora coal mine. So I'm going to thank Goldilocks for having an artistic flair that her mother and I have no comment or no idea where it came from. So she was working on this sign, which is on the end of the building, and I'm going to ask if there's a volunteer among the family that are here that want to pull the sheet off and unveil the sign. I'm hoping I didn't tuck it in too hard.
Can you reach it?
Drum roll.
Maybe. There you go. Pull it that way. Over towards the back.
Keep going, by the way.
There we go. There it is.
Yay!
Well, so if you can't take a look at it today, but it's Tuscarora Coal Company, and then we called it Mine Shaft 38 through 40. So you'll get the reference to Claire's favorite caliber. All right. So thank you, everybody. Again, who came out just for this part, who was here to help for the shoot, or to help for the construction. It was certainly a fun project. I think with that, if there's no more announcements, I'll grab a tablet. We are going to shoot 3 and 3 today because it looks like it's going to rain. So we'll be on one posse on this bay, one posse at the hotel, and we'll switch. And I will tell you who is going to start here with me.
I remember that night we set that display up.